WTA rankings. How many points will 2025 newcomers Mboko, Eala, Boisson defend in January? At the start of the 2025 season, Victoria Mboko and Eala were still playing lower-tier tournaments, but they will face the very best in women's tennis when the 2026 WTA Tour gets underway. Just over 12 months ago, Mboko was setting the world alight on the ITF Women's World Tennis Tour, while Eala was competing on the WTA Challenger Tour, and fellow rising stars Maja Joint and Iva Jovic featured on the WTA Tour thanks to wild-card entries, while Lois Boisson was out injured. The five ended up enjoying brilliant breakthrough seasons that earned them nominations for the 2025 WTA Newcomer of the Year award, along with Eva Liss, with Mboko taking the honors on the back of winning the Canadian Open and Hong Kong Open, while she also finished at career-high number 18 in the WTA rankings, having started the year outside the top 300. But what a difference a year makes as Boisson, Joint, Jovic, and Eala are also inside the top 100 of the rankings. And all five will compete on the WTA Tour in January 2026, as they have gained direct entries into several events, including the Australian Open. Want more from Tennis 365? Add us as a preferred source on Google to your favorites list for tennis coverage you can trust. The fact that they competed at lower-tier events in 2025 means they won't have too many points to defend in the first few months of the year. Let's look at the points they will drop in the first month of the new season. Victoria Mboko, 70 points. The teenager was competing on the ITF circuit in January 2025, and she won 2 W35 titles: the ITF Le Lamentin, France, Martinique, and the ITF Petit Bourg, France, Guadeloupe, with each worth 35 points. Mboko didn't play any WTA main draw qualifiers, so she only has 70 points to defend in the first month of the new year. Given that she is currently comfortably at number 18 in the rankings, she has a good chance to surge into the top 10 with good performances at the United Cup 2026, Adelaide International, and Australian Open. Maja Joint, 140 points. World number 32 Joint will drop 98 points from her run to the semi-final of the Hobart International, 32 from Brisbane and 10 from the Australian Open at the start of 2025. The Australian will play at the United Cup and the Australian Open. Iva Jovic, 70 points. The American started her 2025 season at the Australian Open, and she won on her debut as she beat Spain's Nuria Perez Diaz in the first round before losing against Elena Rybakina. The teenager, currently at number 35 in the rankings, earned 70 points for her performance. Jovic will start her season at the ASB Classic in Auckland, and that will be followed by an appearance at the Hobart International and the Australian Open. Lois Boisson, 0 points. The French star only made her 2025 debut in March as she was recovering from a long-term injury. Of course, she went on to record a memorable run at the French Open, reaching the semifinals to surge up the rankings. Boisson is currently at number 36 in the WTA rankings, and, with no points to defend, she could make her top 20 breakthrough at the end of January with a couple of good results. The Frenchwoman will start her campaign at the United Cup before heading to Melbourne for the Australian Open. Eala, 55 points. The world number 53 featured at the WTA Challenger Canberra International and reached the semi-final, 55, while she also lost in the first round of qualifiers at the Australian Open, 2, and the second round of the ITF Bengaluru Open, 14. But the latter two events are non-countable. Eala has signed up for the ASB Classic and the Australian Open. WTA rankings. The Janus face of a breakthrough year, Mboko, Eala, and Boisson's January points to defend. In the ever-shifting world of professional tennis, the WTA rankings are both a scoreboard and a story, a reflection of what has been and a harbinger of what might come next. For the 2025 season's breakout stars, Victoria Mboko, Eala, and Lois Boisson, the end of one competitive cycle doesn't just mark festive celebrations and national awards lists. It also signals the inevitable countdown to January 2026, when each must defend points earned in 2025 or face drops in the rankings. This year, their stories were not those of established champions defending tenure. They were narratives of ascent, discovery, and fresh horizons. And that's precisely why the number of ranking points they carry into the new season, and are obliged to defend, is surprisingly modest compared to the elite of the tour. But those seemingly small totals have enormous implications. Understanding WTA rankings and points to defend. Before breaking down each player, a quick primer. The WTA ranking system is a rolling 52-week tally of performance. Players earn points at tournaments around the world, more for higher rounds and higher-tier tournaments. A player's ranking dictates entry into main draws at Grand Slams, WTA 1000/500/250 events, seedings, and more. But crucially, points drop off 52 weeks after they're earned. So as the calendar turns to January each year, players must defend points they earned at this time the previous year, either by replicating performance or risk dropping in the rankings. For seasoned players with deep runs and big events, January can be a minefield of bombs to defuse. For newcomers who spent the same period in lower-tier events or not playing at all, January 2026 presents opportunity. Far less to lose and everything to gain. Trophy Victoria Mboko, 70 points to defend. Victoria Mboko's 2025 season reads like a Hollywood script. At the start of the year, she hovered outside the top 300 in the world. By season's end, she had not only broken into the top 20 of the WTA rankings, but had also clinched 2 titles, including a stunning WTA 1000 crown at the Canadian Open and a second trophy in Hong Kong. That meteoric rise earned her the 2025 WTA Newcomer of the Year award. Tennis 365+1. Yet the key detail for January? She only has 70 ranking points to defend from January 2025. Tennis 365. Why so few? Because in early 2025, Mboko was still grinding on the ITF Women's World Tennis Tour, the rung below the WTA Tour. She won 2 $35,000 ITF events, each worth 35 points, which collectively summed to a total of 70 points to be defended once the 2026 season hits full swing in January. Tennis 365. This is a stunning shift. While the world's elite are grappling with hundreds or even thousands of points to defend in the opening months, Mboko's slate is nearly blank. That means a tremendous chance to climb even further in the rankings with strong results in early WTA events and the Australian Open. A chance to build momentum and confidence with less pressure than most top 30 players. Defending just 70 points means her ranking could more easily rise with good results, rather than simply hold steady. It's the dream January scenario for a rising star.